What's up, Ram fans? Welcome back to yet another Tuesday Night Sports. I'm Madeline Davis.
And of course, I'm Leah Cackowski.
The annual Board Award took place this weekend, plus an exclusive interview with our very own Tori Horton.
Women's and men's basketball is finally back, while soccer officially wrapped up their historic season.
Lastly, our thoughts on what to expect from the Mountain West basketball standings and the dark horses of the season.
All of that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now. The Board Award returned to Laramie last Friday, and the Rams fell short for the third year in a row, handing the boot to Wyoming with a final score of 24-15. And it truly came down to simple mistakes. Again. Wyoming knows how to show out for a football game, and even stayed the whole time as it was nearly a sold-out crowd. The energy was electric, and the true Cowboy essence was in full effect. Colorado State managed to keep it a competitive first half, only being down 10-7. But then, of course, the second half remained an utter disappointment. And I hate to say, Fowler Nicolosi did not have his best outing. Because as we can see again, this is where everything goes wrong. Fowler Nicolosi hardly ever gets sacked, so when we see that, things are not looking good. Peasley is able to find number 5 in the corner to get Wyoming back on top again, and Fowler is able to respond early in the fourth quarter to Goffney right here, so things were looking up, but then this is where everything lost hope. A fumble on the snap, and Wyoming is able to keep the ball and take it away and get the boot home. It really just disappoints me to see yet another rivalry loss this year. That's now Boulder, Air Force, and Wyoming. Because like we've seen time and time again, when 4 air raid doesn't click, it's over. CSU shockingly kept up on their end with passing yards though, but of course the rushing side couldn't compete with the Pokes. Though that's the problem with the green and gold, they don't have much to fall back on when Fowler and the rest of the receivers aren't doing their job. It shows clear here that Wyoming is able to utilize all ends of their offense, except for the kicking side, as each team brutally struggled to make a field goal. Looking at the quarterback comparison, it shows how much Fowler underachieved. This now brings him to 13 interceptions on the season, the most for a Ram quarterback since 2010. Yikes. However, Peasley doesn't even have half of the yardage as Fowler Nicolosi, just more utilization of the ground game. The talk of each week is still the question of bowl eligibility for CSU. And well, Wyoming was able to punch in their 6 wins, as the green and gold must win out the rest of the season to qualify. And honestly, all 3 of their next matchups are struggling just as much, being San Diego State, Nevada, and Hawaii. The Aztecs come into town this Saturday, and the Rams have no choice but to win, as they still sit fairly low on the Mountain West totem pole. You know, Madeline, it's been an up and down season again.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect as the year is finishing out. We need to win these games, but again, we've had ones that we've really just let go.
Yeah, I will give you a little glimpse of hope. I know you're familiar with the top 25.
Yes.
I don't know if you're also familiar with this thing they call the bottom 25.
Yes.
Which is the bottom 25 teams. Last year, we were the bottom of the 25.
Like the worst.
This year, we're not on it.
That's good.
But you know what 3 teams are?
Oh, I can't wait.
San Diego State, Nevada, and Hawaii.
Okay, that is a good glimpse. And also, not to mention Boulder hasn't been doing as well as.
True.
So it's like, again though, we've just had so many opportunities to win that we haven't. Like, you know, obviously we're going to talk about Air Force. We can talk about Wyoming. So I just hope being home in Fort Collins is going to help.
I was going to say, we do get 2 more home field advantages, which
Yes.
I hope helps.
I know, me
I think
too.
after Boise State, students, they want to stay.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of kids stayed throughout Air Force.
Yes.
And that was miserable.
And it was snow.
conditions.
Hopefully the weather is not
I
going
was
to be as
going to
bad.
say, the weather is looking good.
Yes. And they get to go to Hawaii then. Fine.
That's
if
true.
you know, if all else fails, they get a vacation out of it. So.
Yeah, over Thanksgiving break too. Good time to go.
Exactly. And you know, Rams, I have good news because we're actually not done with football just yet. Because last week, I had the chance to speak to one of CSU's best, and that's wide receiver Tori Horton. Hi, Leah Cackowski with CTV Channel 11 Sports, and I'm here with none other than Tori Horton, wide receiver for CSU football. And man, this season has already flown by. What's been your favorite part so far?
Probably the Boise State game. Being able to, come out that way with the boys really, just an exciting game to be a part of. And, especially going out playing CU, and that atmosphere was something that we all, wanted, and we enjoyed that game.
Yeah, the offense has changed so much from last year. Obviously, with Braden taking charge as leader, you and Dallin getting the most yards for the team. What's the biggest key for the click this year?
All come down to chemistry. Us going out there and practicing together, I feel like we build, a brotherhood that, we're trying to, just live by, and we respect each other left and right. And I just feel like it's a great bond that's going on with the offense. Once we get clicking, you can see we're kind of hard to stop once we're on fire.
Totally. I feel like when you guys are on, it's like, wow. It's hard to stop you guys.
It gets exciting.
It totally does. And I mean, you're a senior now. So much has changed from the start of your college career, coming in with a global pandemic, first of all, freshman year, then transferring over. What do you think has been like the largest and biggest learning curve through that experience with so much movement and change?
Never getting comfortable is something that I really learned. Now, as I'm a senior, time does fly, and I want to be that role model that I had. I had a good role model, Romeo Dubs, who was a great leader, and to never be afraid to talk to somebody. Of course, we're all from different areas, so people is not really aware with social skills or talking to other people. And I feel like that's something that we, some people just have to learn. But football is probably one of the biggest team sports, and that's just something that we all got to embrace. I'm more than happy to meet people, and out of Japan, you got newer and all them from different areas. It's just something to grasp and have.
You're from Fresno, California, and so what do you think's been the biggest and something that you were not prepared for moving to Colorado, being from Fresno?
The snow, we don't get no snow. The cold was something different. That last game was my first snow game, so that's something I'm off the checklist. I embrace all of that slippery feeling, that just having that glow feeling inside of a stadium, just something that I always wanted to love, and I actually got to live that. That's something I really like.
Is there a secret to playing in the snow? I was freezing in the stands. There has to be something. What's your mindset to totally ignore that you're freezing?
I kind of feel like it's a lot of drilling going on during the game. You use so much of Vaseline that closes your pores. So that couple of young guys, people use transfer from those warm weathers. Once they're with you and you give them that little pump up, and you give them that little speed, like, it ain't cold, you're
fine.
They kind of start to adapt, and they kind of take the role, and they're like, take my sleeves off. And that is something that we all like to do, and we like to have fun with it. So we came out there for warm up, throwing snowballs, just trying to get them used to it, and I feel like that helped out a lot. So.
You're talking about leaders, and I know obviously you're a huge leader on this team, but Jay Norvell is also your leader as well as a coach. How has your relationship grown with him from coming from Nevada and now here at CSU?
I still look at him as someone that I really look up to. He's a great coach, and coming over, he kind of gave me some knowledge of taking that leadership role and saying stuff that don't feel comfortable. It's a lot of stuff that leaders have to say that you don't feel comfortable saying. It's sometimes it's the hard truth that you got to say, and that's just something that he taught me. Being a leader, you have to say that hard truth. We'd rather have a hard truth than soft lies, and that's something that's going to make a stronger team and a stronger brotherhood. He was on me my freshman year, He loved me, but he was on me, and I thank him for that, because, he's pushing me to my limits. He know where I can go. He know what I can do. It's not all about football. He takes up when you need mental. He takes up when you're on your relationship status. If you're going through that, it's everything that he talks to you about. And, you can get that from a lot of those. If you got family issues, you just talk to us about that. He's just something that's like warm welcome always for any player that's coming into play.
Since bowl game is coming up, and that's during the holidays, if that's a possibility for CSU, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Home Alone. I like all the Home Alone. I don't know what it is, but just every time I hear this time, I have to see the Home Alone. And Elf too. Elf is up there. I love Will Ferrell.
My last question for you here, Tori. You're a senior. A lot can change in the next couple of months. Taking it all in, like you said, it's been real fun. Lots of high moments. What do you hope to leave behind as you leave CSU?
I'm not really looking for a legacy to leave behind. I kind of just want to leave this, this facility or this program on a high note. I just want to be that role model of, Torrey Horton going out there giving it his all, or leading others. That time hasn't come yet, so I'm still trying to take in some of these last couple games, and I'm just happy down here, and I really hope to lead the program better than where it started. And I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing right now for the program, and I got high hopes, and I'm pretty confident that the program will be much better when I'm gone. I'm happy to be that starter of the change of program.
Well, we're all very happy that you're here as well. It's so fun to watch. It's been a great season so far, and thanks for sitting down, and I can't wait to see how the year finishes out.
Oh, no problem. Let's go get the boot.
Yeah, let's do it.
While CSU did not get the boot, Horton has so much to be proud of on what he's accomplished here so far. So many great things are still to come, and it's been an honor watching him grow and thrive in the green and gold.
The Rams had a busy weekend up in Laramie, as soccer was also there to play in the finals of the Mountain West Tournament Saturday afternoon. After a thrilling shootout win in the semis to knock off the 1 seed San Diego State, the Rams' Cinderella story came to an end when the Utah State Aggies topped CSU 1-0 to punch their spot to the NCAAs. Both teams came into this matchup after winning in overtime in the round before, and it was looking like perhaps another overtime was in the near future, until a Rams miscue on defense led to Utah State's Kate Christian to score in the 77th minute of the match. Unfortunately for Ram fans, Colorado State could not deliver the equalizer in the remaining 13 minutes, which led to their historic season coming to an end. While this was most definitely a disappointing result for the Rams, they are still proud of what they accomplished and are already eager for next season, with sophomore Mia Massey saying, "Looking back, we accomplished so much. It's our first time making it to this position, and I'm very confident that we'll get here next year and even win it." Overall, this was a season for the books, and it was pretty cool to see this program finally flourish.
Well, Ram fans, I have a very important announcement to make. College basketball is back in Fort Collins. The women's team tipped off first for Colorado State's opening night, with the men's team following. The green and gold absolutely dominated in their exhibition match against UCCS, and last night looked very similar against Lemoyne, defeating them with a final score of 69-49. The Rams were able to shake off the dust and really get going in the second quarter, recording their highest shooting percentage of the night at 50%. Other than the slow start, things were looking pretty solid. Lemoyne picked up their game in the second half as well, but the green and gold had already taken it away. But naturally, there were some first game struggles. Colorado State was able to end the day at 41% from the field, as most of their points came in from their aggressive paint attack. Their shots weren't dropping as much behind the arc, but the bench got to put up some numbers as well, assisting the veterans that have paved the way for a while. And that's, of course, none other than preseason Mountain West Player of the Year, McKenna Hofschild. She had quite the night with a whopping 24 points to make it look easy. Boyd and Clark did their part as well, putting up shots and getting boards all around. And of course, transfer from the University of Kansas and all the way from Sweden, Sanna Strom had a great debut as well, getting 9 points. This was a promising start for the green and gold. There's a long season ahead, but they already bounced back again on Thursday against Alabama A&M. But like I mentioned, they weren't the only squad in Moby Arena to have a night.
It may not be March, but oh boy, is the madness back. Men's hoops made their 23-24 Moby debut last night against Louisiana Tech. And all you diehards may remember the last time these two teams met, which was nearly 3 seasons ago in the semifinals of the NIT, where it was the Bulldogs who ended the Rams season. But luckily for CSU faithful, history did not repeat itself, because this time it was Colorado State who got the last laugh, winning it 81-73. Talik Chavez, he's going to hit the 3 here. Louisiana Tech, they started the second half strong. Here we have Jalen Henderson. He fights up against Joe Palmer. At this point, Louisiana Tech is leading by 10. This is when we really saw some hope in the second half. The newcomer, Joel Scott, look at that dunk. Man, the place went crazy when that happened. This was the play that just completely sealed the deal. Here, Zay with the long pass. Josiah Strong looked good in this outing, something we didn't really get to see of him last year. It was exciting to see, and the Rams took it 81-73. Overall, it was a solid performance for the Rams. The first half was a bit lackluster, but the second half really showed what this team is capable of. CSU shot 51% from the field, nearly 38% from the arc, and 88% from the line. Fouls were rampant for Louisiana Tech, and we saw the Rams shoot a total of 26 free throws. In comparison, the Bulldogs shot 10. It was the new guys who helped lead Colorado State to victory, with both Joel Scott and Nate Clifford leading the team in scoring. This was big to see, especially in a game where Isaiah Stevens was not producing his typical numbers. That being said, though, Stevens still did record his first double-double of the season, something we expect to see almost every game from the star point guard. This team is vastly different from the team we saw in the previous 2 seasons, but Ram fans should be excited for what's to come. CSU will continue their non-conference schedule with another home game this Friday when they welcome the Wright State Raiders to town.
CSU Swim and Dive traveled east to North Carolina to compete in a doubleheader against Queens University and Old Dominion. And of course, the Rams came out on top with these. Colorado State won 8 of their 14 events, defeating Queens 142 to 118 and Old Dominion 208.5 to 51.5. The 400 free group was outstanding, finishing at a time of 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Some individual events to mention are from Lexi Tritley with the 50 and 100 free. Her 50 free time now ranks 2nd in the Mountain West this season. Freshman Tess Weinreich also dominated, touching first in both the 100 and the 200 backstrokes. Colorado State now reaches their midseason mark, competing in the Iowa Invitational on November 30th.
Women's tennis was out in sunny California for the San Diego State Fall Classic, where they took home 3 titles. Each player at the tournament was assured at least 1 singles and 1 doubles match. The Rams went 14-7 in singles play and 8 of 12 in doubles. Grad student Zara Lennon took home the title in the gold bracket, defeating Nevada 7-5, 6-2. Freshman Logan Vokes prevailed in the bronze bracket, defeating San Diego 6-1, 6-4, and grad students Radka Bushkova and Victoria Raktachenko earned another dubs title in the white bracket, defeating Nevada 7-5. This was exactly how CSU was hoping to close out their fall tenure, with head coach Miley Tran saying, "I don't think we could end or wrap up the fall any better. Our team embraced this final opportunity and believed in themselves in big moments." The Rams will now take a competition break while they prepare for their spring schedule, which opens up against North Dakota in late January.
We scored, going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
What's up, Rams? I know what you're thinking, and you would be right. I am not your normal feature reporter, Nick Ortiz. I am Mike Walsh, the current sports director, and I'm here to introduce Nick's in-depth look at the best season in the history of women's soccer here at CSU.
12, 6, and 4. That was the final record of our women's soccer team at the end of this historic season.
To say it simply, this was the greatest season the program has seen. When comparing the stats of the 2023 season to those of the 2019, the previous best season, you'll find that they are pretty similar. However similar they are, almost all of the stats lean in favor of the 2023 season. And although they share the same amount of wins, it's that 636 win percentage which puts this team ahead of that from 2019.
When you look to the start of the season, it's not hard to see that this team was off to a very, very hot start. After a 1-1 tie with the University of Denver, our Rams would go on a 5-game win streak, allowing 1 goal within those 5 games. And when looking at the 6 games that were lost across the season, all except for a single loss were games within 1 goal of each other. The offense of this team was an absolute powerhouse. With 32 goals over the course of the season, not only was it the second most in the Mountain West, but the most goals the team has had in a season. The Rams are throwing out 13.2 shots per game and having a .502 shot on goal percentage. The star of this offensive power seen throughout the season is none other than sophomore Olivia Fout. Val would put up 12 goals on 47 shots, along with 3 assists. These 12 goals would be the most among any player in the Mountain West. She was also tied for first in points within the division and second for points per game. Val is not the only one who contributed to her team's success. Liz Stitzman and Mia Casey would both earn 5 goals. Assists would be handed out by Sophia Colum, Avery van der Ven, and Haley Otto. Looking at individual highs in a single game across the Mountain West, Mia Casey is tied for first with the most goals in a game, having dropped a hat trick against Colorado College. However, this offense wasn't the only thing stealing the show this season. When you look between the pipes, you'll find absolutely dominating numbers from goaltender Shayna Ross. Over the 22 games that she played, Ross would have 10 shutouts, breaking the record for the most shutouts in a single season for the program. Ross would only allow 23 goals over the course of the season, resulting in a 1.04 goals against average on top of a save percentage of .77.
Although it wasn't the ending that we wanted, I wouldn't be too worried. A majority of this team is sticking around for the next season, and even after seeing the stats and the scores, the wins and even the losses, there is no doubt that everyone on this team gave it everything they had to leave their mark on history at CSU this season.
And as Nick said, while their season may have come to a close, Ram fans should be more than happy with the results and should be even more excited for the future of the program. But now we will take a quick break before breaking down some of our favorite points about men's basketball this year, so please stick around.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and I hope you are ready to be completely immersed in the world of college basketball. As we told you earlier, the entire nation is tipping off this week, and more specifically, the Mountain West Conference is hitting the hardwood.
That's right, Leah, and we are here with some analysis and some storylines that we have for the 2023-2024 season. So Madeline, why don't you start us off with some bracketology?
Okay, so starting off, here I have my completely predicted with seeds and everything for the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah.
Watch me be so unbelievably wrong.
Let's hear it.
But as of right now, this is what I have. So in the 8 and 9 seeds, I have Utah State and Fresno State. Fresno State was also a 9 seed last year. Utah State was a 3 seed. Utah State has lost a lot of people. Currently, in my personal opinion, the most influential player on their team right now is Max Ogbonkpalo, who is a transfer from Wyoming/USC. He was in that weird mix of Wyoming guys last year. So I do have Utah State taking that one. Then we drop down to the 7 and 10, San Jose State and Wyoming.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one because both of these teams are
They're not that good.
They're not.
They're not
no.
that great.
Wyoming literally lost everyone. Like, I mean,
I didn't even think they had a team at this point.
Graham Ike, their star player, he's a big shot now. He's at Gonzaga, okay? Yeah, San Jose State, they lost Amari Moore. They do still have Alvaro Cardenas. He was a big person for them. I think personally, I think there are some teams. I think New Mexico is a sleeper team for me. New Mexico is a sleeper team. New Mexico, they were good last year. They were the last undefeated team in the country.
Even though those games weren't against great competition,
they still were undefeated.
Still undefeated.
They were still undefeeted, and CSU didn't stop that.
Exactly.
So I think they have Jalen House, they have Jamal Mashburn Jr. They're going to be a pretty good team. San Diego State, they've lost some people. They don't have Matt Bradley. They do still have Lamont Butler. Darian Trammell is still there. And Jaden Ledee, he really kind of popped off.
He could step into that role of Mensa right there.
It's very. Nevada, they do still have Keenan Blackshear and Daniel Foster.
They got a solid team.
Yeah,
they got a solid
I think
team.
Nevada is also one of those kind of sleeper teams. CSU, we've talked a lot about them. Boise State, though. Boise State, anyone who knows me knows that, like, if I'm not cheering for CSU, I'm cheering for Boise State when it comes to Mountain West basketball. I just think they have a good team.
So you have them taking this?
I do.
Okay.
I have Boise State finally winning it all this year. I have Boise State as a 1 seed, CSU as a 2, and San Diego State as a 3, which I know is controversial. But Max Rice, Tyson Dagenhart, Ogbo's back, And, I mean, they have both of the Rice kids this year. We'll see what they do.
I agree it's going to be CSU Boise State. I think in that final Mountain West tournament game, I think it's definitely. I just want to see CSU there so bad. We were so close last year.
Last year we were right
Such
there.
close games.
And he almost hit that shot again.
He
almost hit it again. And for me, Boise State, I just feel like they're all at least in their 70s at this point. Like
a few of them have been there for a while.
They've been here for a long time because,
definitely.
I mean, Madeline, I made some predictions too. Okay. So let's see. It's on a bracket, but I have some standings. So let's see if my standings match up here. So for me, I have San Diego State leading the Mountain West again. Okay, because again, while I lost a lot of people, Matt Bradley, Seiko, I never know how to say it. I think it's Seiko, whatever it is. Kashad Johnson, again, they have so much buzz and hype still from last year. I really do think they could.
Same coaching staff, too.
Exactly. Like, their coaches are the same. They're bringing in people because of the buzz that they had last year. So I think, in my opinion, they're still going to be number one. Number two, I do have Boise State for that reason.
That's a good team.
I do, because I think that's realistic. They've been there before. They know what it's like to be a winning team. And then I have our Rammies. I have to have our Rams at 3. They were ranked 5 in the preseason polls, which I think is too low, but I think 3 is a good happy medium, especially with Isaiah being pre-Mountain West Player of the Year as well. So I think that is really good. And then I went to UNLV. I think UNLV is going to be an underrated team this year. I don't know.
So you're not high in New Mexico is what I'm.
New Mexico I have at 5. I have them right behind. I was altering between UNLV and New Mexico.
We all got
there.
kind of the same top 5.
Yes, and then honestly, but then it's kind of just irrelevant. Air Force and Wyoming are my bottom. And Fresno's a weird mix in there.
There's going to be some teams in the Mountain West.
Fresno's always an oddball.
I was going to say Fresno is one of those teams that, like, they're never particularly spectacular, but like they could literally win anything.
But they could, and it's always random. But yeah, for me, my top are San Diego State, Boise, and CSU. But my top player for San Diego State being Lamont Butler, just because of that shot.
I agree with the top 3, but I'm gonna switch New Mexico with SDSU.
Okay.
Even though they had the great run,
Mike is on the New Mexico train.
New Mexico has got 2 players that can average easily 20 plus. Like they might not average 20 plus, but they could if they really wanted to. Yeah. And having that duo could take you so far.
That's true.
So that's why I put in the top 3. But I do agree with CSU and Boise State for sure.
And we can't deny that, like, just historically the Pit.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult places to play.
But again, it just sucks that they totally fell off at the end of the season. So it's just like if they're able to have the same momentum.
They did have those.
Last undefeated team in the country to losing first round in the NIT.
Yeah. So that to me was a little rough. But most importantly, I have to highlight the stars for the green and gold. So
of course.
Let's run the tapes. Not a tape, but let's take a look. So I have none other than, of course, CSU Mountain West Player of the Year, in my opinion, is Isaiah Stevens.
It's easy.
So
it's easy.
that, I mean, it's not even a doubt.
I mean, the coaches think the same thing too. The coaches voted.
Oh, they are. No, they know it, and he's back. It's a given. But then
he's an unbelievable player.
I have an award I'm gonna make up for here at CTV, and I'm gonna call this the Chandler Jacobs Award because this here for me goes to Joel Scott. The way I saw him play last night was unbelievable. He had 18 points. He just has that charismatic energy that everybody loves. He is absolutely what this team needs.
He plays with fire.
Yes.
He plays
that
with
was his
fire.
first D1 game.
Yes.
His first D1 game, he's the
He acted
leading
like it was
scorer.
nothing.
It felt like he had been there forever.
He took control.
Absolutely.
I loved him on the court.
Yes. I know Mike has a lot he wants to say about Joel, so take it away because
I'm not going to disagree with the Chandler Jacobs Award. I think that's a great award. Chandler Jacobs is a great player.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. I just think Joel is like a level ahead of him.
No, that's fair.
I think he's a level ahead of him.
Skill,
and because of that, for my dark horse pick, I think it could be Joel Scott as that Mountain West Player of the Year.
Oh, okay.
I get it. There's a lot of stars. But he does it all. He plays like a big man. He shoots like a three-point shoot. He can literally do it. He can attack the rim as we saw with that dunk. I mean, he is just that kind of player.
Okay, here's my question for you. Do you think he's a lock for Newcomer of the Year?
Newcomer of the Year is tough. It's tough. I feel like they usually want to give that to a freshman, but I can see him giving it to him.
I mean, even this and one right here. Oh my gosh, his aggression, his presence on the court was already matching their first game.
That is exactly what the team needs.
It is.
Like when we lack that energy, you get that nice and one, and you just get hyped, and Moby goes crazy. That is exactly what you need.
Yep, I totally 1,000% agree.
Another person I can definitely see taking that Mountain West Player of the Year is Jamal Mashburn from New Mexico.
Okay.
He averaged 19 points last year.
Over Jalen House?
I just think he's that scorer. I think Jalen House is really good, and I think he's a great two-punch, and that's why I think New Mexico can go far. But I also think that Mashburn is just a better shooter.
Yeah.
So just for me, I'd say it's Joel Scott and Jamal Mashburn as the dark horses for Player of the Year.
Okay. I like that. I think those are great picks.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think those are fantastic.
And I'm glad we
picks.
agree with the teams.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
teams
our
in the
top
West.
teams,
Yeah.
and who knows, obviously. It's March Madness, it's Moby Madness. We don't know what's going to happen.
We gotta get base set,
no one
though.
expected Nevada and Utah
No.
to be going to the tournament last year.
SDSU making the final?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
crazy.
So we never know, but
Crazy things can happen.
I think our knowledge has put us at a good
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
point.
Our consensus?
We can't fail that much.
No.
The Mountain West is a good basketball
Oh,
conference.
of course.
That's our consensus.
I
That's
also
what it
have
is now.
a last hot take here. The Mountain West is going to put more teams into the tournament than the Pac-12 this year.
I agree
I
with you,
fully
Mike.
agree.
I
fully
agree.
agree.
We have street credit now.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
Mountain
Yep.
West is back, and I think I totally agree.
And anything to see the Pac-12 fail.
Oh, yeah. If it even is the Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-2,
The
sorry.
Pac-2.
Yeah.
Well, Rams, that will wrap up our disclosure on the Mountain West basketball scene. We hope you all enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for watching. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for one of our most unique shows in CTV Geeks. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you then.